night out. Polly sat on the floor in the corner of the room, sobbing her little heart out. Try as she might, she couldn't understand why her mummy was so horrible to them. Her brother Adam usually suffering a scolding in the same way. Polly wondered where 10-year-old Adam was. She hadn't seen him all morning. Probably out scavenging with the big boys. Peter, who was 11, and 12-year-old James. She knew they should be at school, but was fully aware they had no intention of going. Pushing her lank dark hair off her face, Polly ran her nose along her sleeve once more, her sobs dry now. Her bottom was sore, so she lay down on her side before shoving her dirty fingers in her mouth again. Polly's chocolate brown eyes roamed the room as she lay quietly. Daddy's chair by the empty fire, a kitchen chair for Mummy, and a peg rug on the floor. There were no curtains at the windows, but no one could see in anyway because the glass was too dirty. The filthy windows meant the lights couldn't get through either, so there was a small table which held a candle in its holder. Sleeve and nose coming together yet again, Polly wished Adam would come home. He was the only one who had any time for her. Polly and Adam were constantly chastised by their father, and so had become very close. Both sharing the same dark eyes and darker hair, they had, even at this early age, noticed the difference. Their brothers and parents were all fair-haired with blue eyes. Polly remembered Adam asking why that was, and he had received a thrashing from their father in reply. Gerald Fitch was a bully. She heard her mother bring in the screaming baby once more, and then a noise from the kitchen had Polly listening carefully. Realising it was Adam's voice, she jumped to her feet and raced through the door, throwing herself into his arms. Everything would be all right now. Adam was home. However, all was not well, for James was arguing with her beloved Adam. "You're a bleeding liar, Adam," James yelled. "I'm not. I begged those sausages, and well you know it," Adam returned. "Mum, he didn't. It was our Peter. He told me so." Adam was furious at the lie and kicked out at his big brother. Minnie thrust the wailing baby into Polly's arms and went to separate her sons, who were now brawling on the kitchen floor. "You two, get off to the slag heaps and find something for us to burn. I can't cook these sausages with no fire," she said to her eldest boys. "And you lying little bugger, I'll teach you to tell me an untruth." Minnie gave Adam a good hiding where he stood. Dropping back down onto her chair, she took back the baby and looked at the boy she had just thrashed. He was staring back at her defiantly, breathing heavily through flared nostrils. Suddenly, Minnie knew he had been telling the truth, but it was too late now. Adam had taken a punishment he didn't deserve without making a sound. She loved these two children, who were so different from the others, but she was so very, very tired, and her heart ached as she watched them now. Turning towards the sobbing Polly, Adam took her hand in his and led her upstairs. "Shh, it's all right now. You get into bed, and you can have my blanket over your own. You'll soon get warm." Adam sat on the bed with his little sister. He was shivering, but it was not the cold. It was anger. His brothers had got him into trouble again. He had fought valiantly, but James was bigger and stronger than him. At almost 5 feet tall, even at his young age, Adam was as thin as a lathe. Having had no schooling didn't mean he was stupid. He was far from it. Adam was streetwise, with common sense in abundance. Polly slipped her tiny hand into his and smiled. Adam's heart melted, and his anger dissipated in an instant. No words were needed, for they were of an accord. In this harsh household they only had each other, and Adam vowed then and there he would always take care of Polly. Neither of the two children had supper that night. There was not enough to go around, so Minnie wasn't allowed to call them down from the bedroom. The two older boys ate and retired to bed in the same room as Adam and Polly. It was late when Adam was woken by his father shouting. Creeping to the top of the stairs in the darkness, he listened.